Once you know another man is preparing to go to war, it's never gonna be an easy night. It's never an easy night in boxing.
What motivates me more than the fight is the title. I've been champion of the WBC, WBO, and IBF, but never the WBA, and that's what motivates me.
I'm just a better fighter than him. I'm stronger, faster, I'm smarter, I'm hungrier than him.
Respect for what? Respect for a fighter that doesn't know how to throw a punch. One with no technique. I can't respect him. He's not better than me.
I think we're in his head. He has to make himself think that he's better than me, he can beat me, he don't respect me to stand the chance.
In my career, I have fought in so many places, but never New York. I want to conquer New York.
The moment he opened up, he went down. I knocked him down and we started going toe-to-toe. Everybody has their time, and this is my time.
A beautiful night, warm night here in the fall in Brooklyn, New York. It is amazing as we get ready now for the main event when you look at Morales' resume. This is a man who, before Pacquiao and before Barrera, fought Junior Jones, Kevin Kelly, Wayne McCullough, Daniel Zaragoza. Those guys were all a little older at the time. Morales was extremely young. Now Morales is the man looking to stay in the picture and facing a very young fighter, 24-0, 24-year-old Danny Garcia. Let's go to the ring and Jimmy Lennon Jr.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring the challenger, a number 2 ranked contender from Mexico, introducing Erik El Terrible Morales. And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, here is the defending and undefeated world champion from Philadelphia, introducing Danny Swift Garcia.
And as calm as Erik Morales, the veteran, looked, so too this 24-year-old Danny Garcia. He's not yet tasted defeat. 24-0, 15 knockouts, and he's already beaten the man he's facing tonight.
His fight against Erik Morales, at the end, he was dominant. And many people believe that how you end a first fight is often how you begin a second, even though he is not the quickest starter on the planet. He believes he still has something to prove, or at least some people do, because even his win over Amir Khan, which was a dramatic win, he was having issues in those first couple rounds. Danny Garcia, I think, is still in a proving stage. That's his father behind him, a very loquacious defender of his son. They certainly have great confidence in themselves, but a marquee performance here tonight would help take him yet another step.
And maybe, Austin, there's a parallel to yourself here. Undefeated fighter fighting for a championship that's already his. You're going to be facing that exact same situation.
Well, I know Danny is the hungrier fighter, and putting Erik Morales' name under his belt for a second time in a better fashion is feeding his hunger. He's also coming off of 2 good wins, one over Erik and the other one over Khan, which means he's coming with momentum into the ring.
So he comes in as the champion, Morales comes in as the challenger. Morales did have some issues. He says it does not affect anything because he says, I haven't done anything wrong. I think that'll be proven in the next hour.
Yeah, and we're going to see, you know, there's mixed emotion about this fight. Let's be honest, out there in the blogosphere and everywhere else. Some people distressed that Erik Morales was allowed to fight in this fight, and that's just a fact. So we'll see how that plays itself out.
So Morales just loosening up, and Morales did have to lose some weight. He did make weight, but he had to lose weight. He's had a lot of stuff on his mind other than the business at hand, which comes right now in the person of Danny Garcia. He says he's trained hard. He's earned everything that he has so far. He's still a hungry fighter, even though he's the champion.
And I believe it. I totally believe it. And I also think that little animosity that from yesterday and all the drama could spill over in the fight today, which might give Danny that kickstart that he needs.
Yeah, Yeah, I think that's the other thing, too. I think a lot of times that's all done for effect. I'm not too sure that yesterday's weigh-in was for effect. I think that was the real deal. Al, talk us through the numbers here.
All right, let's look at the numbers. And one of the numbers that is very important, clearly, is the age of Erik Morales. 12 years the senior of Garcia, and even more than that, has been through many wars. And the 139.25 is important because we know that he struggled to make that weight over the last couple of days.
Yeah, in fact, maybe even over the last 3 hours. He was 3 pounds over at approximately 10 o'clock in the weigh-in. I believe it was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
And so he just barely made it.
All right, with that, we'll take it to the center of the ring. Introduction of our main event fighters once more. Here's the inimitable Jimmy Lennon Jr. Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the home of the Brooklyn Nets, Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions and Showtime, sponsored by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, DeWalt Tools, and their new 20-volt Max Brushless technology. They are guaranteed tough. And AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network, AT&T, rethink possible. This bout is sanctioned by the WBC, President Jose Suleiman, Supervisor Joe Dwyer, the WBA, President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor George Martinez, along with the New York State Athletic Commission, the Chairperson, Melvina Lathan. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Villa Park, California, Max DeLuca. From Albany, New York, Tom Schreck. And from Rivervale, New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. Introducing to you our 3rd man of the ring, the referee in charge of the action, Benji Esteves. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing in a rematch for the unified WBA, WBC, and Ring Magazine Super Lightweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance, and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks, hailing from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. He weighed in at already 139.25 pounds with a record of 52 wins, 8 losses. He has 36 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the WBA and WBC #2 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the future Hall of Famer and the 5-time world champion in 4 weight divisions, introducing Erik El Terrible Morales. The ring is the defending world champion on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and white tiger stripe trunks and hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 139.75 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign of the ring with a record of 24 wins, no losses, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, in his 3rd world title bout, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated WBA and WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the World, introducing Danny Swift Garcia. Once again, a referee in charge, now to give instructions, Benji Esteves.
Okay guys, you received your instructions prior, recibí tus instrucciones anteriormente. I want a nice clean fight, quiero una pelea limpia, que gane el mejor. Good luck to both of you, touch it up.
So with that, we come to our main event. 12 rounds for the WBA and WBC and Ring Magazine Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Danny Garcia, the holder, Erik Morales, this time the challenger. Garcia says he always starts slow. He says, I start slow, but I'm not cold. Although he has not yet broken a sweat here.
Yeah, the early rounds are not rounds in which he normally gets a lot done. And they expect Erik Morales to try and press the pace early. Morales, in their first fight, the big weapon he was able to use effectively was the jab. He out-jabbed Garcia, but the rest of it didn't go his way.
Well, Morales, the question mark, of course, because he did have to lose the weight. What will he have left?
Danny Garcia felt that he let Erik Morales off the hook a little bit the last fight because he didn't pressure him enough. And he said, I was my first championship fight. I was fighting him down in Houston where he had a lot of fans, and I maybe just didn't focus enough to do that.
See if he takes a different attitude as champion.
I would say so. You know, the first fight, it looked like, you know, in the beginning of the round, that it was a man versus a boy. And it's looking like, you know, Danny's a man now.
Yeah, the boy grew up.
That's right. Good right hand from Danny Garcia.
Garcia's busier here in round one by far. He's thrown 3 times as many punches as Morales already.
Yeah, and that's kind of surprising, I think.
Yeah. Not all landing, obviously, but still, he's more active.
Morales just not doing much. Looked to counter there and missed twice, and takes 3 punches from Garcia. Very quick-handed.
That's right. Nice little blur of punches he had there.
Overhand right from Morales. But just a great crowd here at the Barclays Center. Good right hand.
Both men landing excellent rights and good body punches. So this fight heating up already.
Much faster pace from Garcia than we've seen before.
You can hit Danny Garcia with the right hand. Amir Khan did it often, but it's hard to discourage him.
Well, got hit twice with the right hand right there. He does have a little bit of a lazy left hand.
Good body shot from Garcia.
Morales missed an opportunity to counter with the right hand there. Garcia got out of harm's way. Want to talk about the keys to victory?
Yes, indeed. For Danny Garcia, as his dad Angel leans in to give him instructions, going to the body early would be an excellent idea for him. And pushing the pace obviously is important. And he wants to land the right hand, which is a good punch for him and one that can be used against Erik Morales. For Erik Morales, when he throws the jab, it has to be with conviction. He needs to throw it as a punch to land and not just set up another one. And he can't stay against the ropes. When he did that against Garcia in their first fight, it was a problem, and he's got to throw straighter right hands. Although, in round one, he landed a looping right hand that did get in.
Interesting, in Garcia's corner, they got the end swell on his right eye, up above his right eye, on the eyelid, actually, and it did look like there might be just a tad of swelling there. This is round 2. So far in this fight, Morales has not really thrown a lot of jabs. There he throws one.
Yeah, you're right, Barry. He really wanted to begin with that punch and use it as a centerpiece of his attack, and that hasn't happened yet.
Clearly, Garcia the quicker of the two.
Oh,
Nice little left hand slipped in by Morales.
Morales being a little bit more busy this round.
Counter right hand from Garcia. And a left hand from Morales. And right hand from Garcia.
When Danny Garcia, he made the point that when Erik Morales finally opened up in his attack, he was when he went down. Morales is opening himself up more early in this fight, and he is getting countered by Garcia.
Good right hand by Garcia right there.
And there he is on the ropes where he doesn't want to be, and we know why, because it was in the keys to victory. So there you go.
You know your stuff.
Yeah, you know.
Good body shot. Morales just right now is a stationary target. Takes a right hand. Absolutely flat-footed and quite honestly slow-footed.
And again, putting himself in a position where he's not in the center of the ring, but that's the straight right hand that we wanted, or that Morales wanted to have tonight.
Yeah, after Danny's finished with his combination, he needs to move his head or move out the way. You know, he's kind of standing there posing, and Morales is taking advantage of that. Good right to the body.
Yeah, it sure was.
And Morales using his jab effectively toward the end of this round.
Good body from Danny.
Final 10 seconds.
Working the body well from Garcia.
Why not? Good strategy with a guy who had to lose some weight. See if he can take the steam out of it. End of 2.
That was a much closer round, I think.
You can't take chances. You can't take chances, okay? Breathe. Rinse out. Rinse. Listen to me. Use the jab, man. Quick jab. You're hurting, man. You're not recovering. Work the body a little bit. When you get the chance, work the body, okay? Use the jab. Work the body when you get the chance. Slip over. When it comes with the right hand, slip over to your left. Left uppercut. Left uppercut. Dig it.
He's a little faster than you right now. Got to cut the ring a little bit.
So we come to round 3. They want Garcia to work the body.
I think it's a good idea to work the body. You know, Morales looked a bit tired in that corner there. It's only the 3rd round.
Garcia so far not heeding the advice of his father, not working the body, but did do it in the 2nd round, and it does seem to have slowed Morales.
And indeed, the movement of Morales was not much in that last round, so it would lend credence to the idea that he may already be slowing down a bit.
And there again, Morales just got out-quicked by Garcia.
But it is early in this fight, and we'll see if he can rejuvenate himself a bit. And again, we point out that Garcia normally doesn't get off to a start where he's winning all these rounds, which so far he has been. And the other thing Garcia has done is go to the body very effectively. When you do that early against a 36-year-old who had to lose weight, you're going to put yourself in a good position.
Yeah, Morales just seems a little bit flat so far. Good body shot.
Nice combination.
And again, Garcia, it's just a case of Garcia out-quicking Morales so far.
Another good right to the body from Garcia.
And another left to the body.
Oh,
and another right to the body.
Danny Garcia is listening to his father, who certainly understood that that's the key to winning this fight early, and Garcia's doing it.
Yeah, he came upstairs with the left hand to the head, too.
Definitely a lot busier than the first fight in the beginning.
This is not the start Erik Morales wanted by any stretch of the imagination, especially given the fact that the second half of his last fight with Danny Garcia was not a good run for him. So for the beginning to be this dismal, not a good sign for him.
Now, so far this is just not the Erik Morales that we've seen.
Great counter left hook by Danny Garcia, and even Morales acknowledging it.
He said the same thing in his mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great counter.
Swelling already also under the right eye of Morales, so now no good news for him.
Good right hand.
Sure was. That hurt Morales. Morales is in big trouble at the bell, and big trouble as he stumbles back to his corner. In fact, he stumbles back to Garcia's corner.
Yeah.
At the end of the round, Garcia, who had really set the plate up for this with the body work, using the jab and the straight right hand. That's excellent work by Danny Garcia. And when he throws combinations, Garcia's a very effective fighter. And we'll take yet another look at it. This is Danny Garcia at his best. When he's a wild puncher and not throwing combinations, sometimes he doesn't look like a champion, but when he does this, Danny Garcia looks every bit the part of a 140-pounder who's at the top of the food chain. And he outlanded Morales by 4 punches and the power punches in the last round, but the most important was that right hand.
And I'm not sure Morales' legs are all the way back yet.
No, but Morales is backing up, which is not something we see Erik do.
And again, you saw that right hand, and that sort of stopped him. Let's bring in Joe Cortez, our in-house referee here. Now, what is referee Benji Esteves going to be looking at here?
Well, Benji's looking right now at the condition of Morales, because he was wobbled pretty bad. So the doctor and Benji both went into the corner, so they're watching it real close.
All right, thanks. That's the voice of Joe Cortez, Hall of Fame referee on hand to keep us honest about all things.
And it's important for Benji Esteves to be in the right position to be able to stop this fight, to make sure he is close enough and that he's ready in case it does have to happen with this 36-year-old getting pounded. He's not at that point yet, clearly.
4-punch combination ended with a right hand to the top of the head.
Danny Garcia's doing, oh my.
Just a brilliant shot. Knocks Morales through the ropes.
And the trainer got in the ring. And it's over, y'all.
That's it, just like that. And this is a case of the king is dead, long live the king. A conquered champion, Erik Morales.
It is a shame to see such a pugilist go out like that, but props to Danny. He did his thing, and regardless of what may have been in the system, it didn't help.
Danny Garcia coming up with a superb performance, landing 9 of 13 power shots and creating this very dispirited scene for Erik Morales. We look at how he set up the left hook. Just as good a punch as Danny Garcia can throw, and he has great power in the left hand, and it was one of the best he's thrown. It was thrown with great, it was a short, compact left hook. It really wasn't that wide a punch. And Morales will lower his right hand here. as he starts, I believe, to throw a jab. Yes, he lowers the right hand and gets nailed with a perfect left hook by Danny Garcia. Sometimes Garcia throws wide left hooks. Not that time. It was perfect, and it was too much for the 36-year-old Morales, who was already showing signs of wearing down in this fight.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's one of those textbook punches. You know, that's what we teach the kids on exactly how to throw. Dip that shoulder and turn the body.
And we mentioned that as you look at that left hook, that Morales really had given us foreshadowing that this is likely to happen. He'd been hurt in the previous round toward the end of the round and was opening himself up for these big power shots. And ultimately, Danny Garcia, the 24-year-old, was able to do it. Put the Morales chapter of his career behind him to look ahead to all the tremendous possibilities in a 140-pound division that he may have in his future.
A lot of attractive fights out there for him, and he says he wants to stay at the 140-pound division at least for a little while. He says he easily could step up to 147, but I think a lot of good fights for Danny Garcia down the road. Let's go up now to Jimmy Lennon Jr. We'll make this all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 23 seconds in round number 4. Our referee in charge, Benji Esteves, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of knockout, still undefeated, and still the WBA, WBC, and Ring Magazine super lightweight champion of the world, Danny Swift Garcia.
Well, I think Swift was the operable word tonight. And I think, you know, they always say a champion has to go out on a shield, and I think perhaps we saw a champion do just that tonight in Erik Morales.
No doubt the close to a brilliant career.
All right, well, our 4 fights are now in the book, so now it is your time to cast your vote in our Facebook poll. What was the fight of the night? Log on to our Facebook page. Do it right now. Make your choice, and we will give you the result in just a few minutes. All right now to the center of the ring once more, and Jim Gray with a very happy winner. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Barry. Danny, congratulations to you.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank my dad, you know, for guiding me through life. My mom, my little sisters, my brother, all my family, all the people who've been there for me. Al Heyman, he really helped me, man. He gave me this opportunity. Golden Boy, and most of all the fans in Brooklyn who came out to support me, baby. I appreciate y'all.
Danny, let me ask you about your performance this evening, and Erik, did you feel as though you were hitting a stationary target? You connected on 9 of your 13 power punches, and he seemed flat-footed. Did it seem to you as though he was an easy target tonight?
No, he's a crafty veteran. He hit me with a couple good shots, but I bounced back. I noticed from the first fight, I showed him too much respect. I was letting him back me up, and I was just trying to counter in the end. He was catching me at the end of all his shots. So this fight, I went to press the action behind my jab and set my big punches up.
Was there any doubt in your mind after you had won the first fight and he wanted this rematch that it wouldn't be the same result?
I thought, you know, honestly, I thought I was going to go 12 rounds because he's a warrior.
Why?
I mean, you see the first fight, we went at it. He's a warrior. He knows how to take a good punch, but we trained hard, man. I'm happy the result came early. What round was that?
That was the 5th round, and we're going to take a look at it right now, if we can, on our monitor. If we can show us the punch right here, tell us what's going on.
Boom.
Another kind.
Right there.
That left hook, I get that from my mom. All her side of her family is left-handed. So that's my genetics right there, that left hand. Thank you, Mom.
You now put yourself in a circumstance of Matisse, maybe Amir Khan, or rematch. Possibilities out there. Josecito Lopez, if he was to come back to 140. What would you like to do?
Man, I want to fight. You know me, I never ducked anybody. I fought Khan when everybody doubted me. I fight the best, man. That's why I'm in here. I got all the belts. I know they want them. You want them, you got to come get them, baby. It ain't going to come easy, though.
Danny, you're undefeated, but how much has your confidence level changed now that you've beaten Morales twice in that Amir Khan fight? Are you a different guy, a different fighter?
I'm becoming more mature as a man, you know, just as a man in life, getting these tough fights and stuff like that. I'm more mature as a man. I think it's helping me in the ring a lot.
And you seemed quite annoyed yesterday at the weigh-in. Were you annoyed with the test that they had come back positive and you said something to him? What was it that you said to him at the weigh-in, because you were very animated?
Do you want me to say what I really said?
Keep it a family program. You're going over the microphone here in the stadium and across the air.
I said I was going to beep you up. Beep.
And indeed you did. Congratulations tonight, Dave.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, terrific fight. All right, let's go back to Barry.
All right, thanks very much. That was Jim Gray talking with a winner, and a very happy winner. And I'm here, of course, with my partners Al Bernstein and the champ Austin Trout. And Austin, I'm going to turn to you first. We saw the coming of age of a couple of young fighters. This has got to be very near and dear to your heart.
Oh, definitely. I plan to keep the trend going December 1st.
December 1st, you get it on with Miguel Cotto. Al, let me ask you about these two guys. Peter Quillen, who had a tremendous victory in a great fight. Probably a candidate maybe for Fight of the Year, I don't know. And then Danny Garcia. Both these guys really kind of came of age tonight.
Yes, and for Peter Quillen, an amazing coming out party here in his home area. And I think he made the biggest statement of the night, really, because he fought a very tough fighter from abroad, and he fought his heart out. And I thought raised the skill level of what he did.
Yeah, I want to talk to you for just a moment about Peter Quillen. He was in probably without question, the toughest fight of his life against the guy who came here with all intent of beating him.
And he also, he showed his heart. He kind of took off sometimes where we thought we should have pressed it, but then lo and behold, comes the left hook again, putting Ndam again down numerous times.
All right, we still got a lot more to talk about, but before we do, we're going to take it to the center of the ring. Jim Gray right now with the loser of the fight.
All right, Barry, thank you very much. Felix de Jesus will once again translate. Erik, first of all, are you okay?
¿Tú estás bien, Erik?
Estoy bien.
He's okay.
Estoy bien. Quiero agradecer a toda la gente su apoyo durante muchos años. Creo que hoy me preparé muy bien. No hay una excusa para decir que esta pelea no podía ganarla.
He was saying that, first of all, he wants to thank the crowd today. And second of all, he was prepared today to win this fight, but he couldn't do it.
It seemed as though
Quiero agradecerle a toda la gente. Quiero decirles que fue mi última pelea en los Estados Unidos. Muchas gracias por su apoyo y su cariño durante muchos años.
He wants to thank the crowd for all their support throughout the years, and this is his last fight in the United States.
You will not fight in the United States again. Will you fight outside of the country again? Will you go back and fight a final fight in Mexico?
¿Tu última pelea será en México?
Sí. I want to say bye-bye en Tijuana, México.
In Tijuana, Mexico, he will fight, yeah.
About the fight here tonight, you seemed as though you were stationary and flat-footed. That's what Al Bernstein felt, and Austin Trout, who was commenting on the fight. Why couldn't you get movement in the ring tonight?
¿Por qué no había el movimiento que usualmente vemos, Erik, que estaba un poquito tieso en el ring?
No lo sé. En realidad trabajé muy bien. Hice una preparación fuerte. Debía verme bien, me sentí fuerte, conecté buenos golpes. Pero el tiempo pasa y hay que reconocer que simplemente ya no tengo nada que hacer aquí en el boxeo.
He says that time passes by and that he came to fight and he was ready and he did have one good blow, but it's early signs that it's over.
Thank you for all the thrills. Great trilogies with Manny Pacquiao and Barrera, and you've been a great fighter. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias a toda la gente. Muchas gracias. Los quiero mucho.
Thank you. I love you a lot.
All right, Brian Kenny, let's go upstairs to you.
Well, time does pass by, unfortunately, for Erik Morales, but what a great warrior through the years. Again, turned pro in 1993. His resume is incredible to look through it, and we appreciate his years and years of warriorship in the ring. Much more in a moment. Again, we'll get back to our fight of the night where you can vote on Facebook. First, though, a programming note. Michael C. Hall stars in Dexter, while Homeland won the Emmy for Best Outstanding Series. Both air on Sunday on Showtime.
It is not in your control.
Everything is in my control.
You said it yourself, Dexter, that you can't stop, that you don't want to stop. And if you keep doing this, bad shit is gonna find you.
Suicide bomber almost blew up Vice President Walden. He made a tape. No one in the agency knows but you and me.
She called us. I was just wondering if we could bury the hatchet.
Back here at the Barclays Center, once again, there's Erik Morales, and I thought Jim Gray asked the first question was a good one, saying, "Are you all right?" He took quite an attack there, rounds 3 and 4. A body attack early. It was a big right hand by Garcia. Remember, Morales, and give him credit, look, obviously not his best night. Obviously, he's in danger in there when he's in there with a world-class fighter. But remember, when he took that right hand from Garcia in the third, he began to crumple. I mean, his body just reacted by crumpling, but he held himself back up. Fortunately for him, it was the end of the round. Then, of course, in the fourth round, that vicious hook, which, sent him spinning to the canvas and nearly out of the ring. If he does have a go-away fight, kind of a goodbye fight in Mexico, you hope it's against a much lesser level of competition, because he went up against one of the top fighters in the world right now, a young, hungry fighter in Danny Garcia, who definitely is maturing in there. He seemed calmer, he picked his shots, and he is now 25-0 with 16 KOs. Again, keeps all of his belts, including the Ring Magazine Junior Welterweight Championship of the world. Recapping our night here in Brooklyn, a great night of boxing as big-time boxing returns to Brooklyn. And early on it was. Let's recap our night. Devin Alexander against Randall Bailey. The knockout king could not catch the slick boxing Devin Alexander. Devin Alexander with a unanimous decision. Then we had an all-action slugfest. Yes. Right now it's all over Twitter. Kid Chocolate. Hassan Endam versus Peter Quillen. Who is Kid Chocolate? 6 knockdowns. All for Peter Quillen. 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 12th to seal it. Endam kept coming, but Kid Chocolate with the win. Another New York City fighter got a win. Paulie Malignaggi, Brooklyn's own, survived an 11th round knockdown to get a split decision. Was controversial, was disputed. Pablo Cesar Cano fought through a bad cut on his eyelid. He won on one card, but the Brooklyn fighter takes home the decision. Paulie Malignaggi, the winner. And then in our main event, all Danny Garcia, the 36-year-old Erik Morales. Again, he was retired at one point for a year and a half. He did go out on his shield, knocked out in round 4. His corner jumps into the ring. Danny Garcia defends impressively. He is 25-0. So there we go. A quick look at all of the fights tonight, at least here on Showtime. We had a few more on Showtime Extreme. So we asked you, what was the fight of the night? And here's how you voted. It is Peter Quillen, Kid Chocolate, and Hassan Endam taking 62% of the vote. That seems about right. Garcia, impressive, gets 28%. Paulie Malignaggi and Cano, again, both were impressive. They get some votes. And while the boos did rain down for Devin Alexander against Randall Bailey, again, that's the margin of error is 2%. He gets 1%. So I guess it could be very few votes. But Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillen, and Hassan Endam wake up the house, wake up the echoes here in Brooklyn as well. And in case you missed it, once again, you can watch this fight and the whole card a second time on our replays on Showtime and Showtime Extreme. Showtime Championship Boxing will return Saturday, November 10th, when Abner Mares squares off with Anselmo Moreno. Coming up Friday, November 16th, it's the premiere of All Access, Cotto versus Trout, with exclusive coverage of Miguel Cotto and Austin Trout as they approach their showdown December 1st at Madison Square Garden, also here in New York City. Well, it's a great night of boxing at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Glad to be back in Brooklyn for championship boxing. For Barry Tompkins, Al Bernstein, Austin Trout, Jim Gray, Steve Farhood, and Joe Cortez, and our entire crew, I'm Brian Kenny. Good night from Brooklyn, everybody.